Hey everybody, my name's Nathan. I'm a sound designer for Valorant. Today we're going to talk about Tejo and some footstep stuff. So as you can see, like when you run around, you hear the footsteps and you hear the surface type. So here we're on like a concrete cobblestone type thing. Now we're on some dirt, and it changes wherever you go. Now we're on this metal thing. So the way that happens for, I think, most games is that you have different shoe types and you have different surface types and you record the different shoes on those different surface types, and then you edit it all together and master it so that they all sound relatively the same loudness. And that's what happened for Valorant. There's a bunch of different shoe types. There's like sneakers and combat boots and leather soled shoes, all that kind of stuff. And then there's a bunch of different surface types. I forget how many exactly there are, but it's over 10. So there could be like, it's like cobblestone, concrete, wood, dirt, grass, metal, all that kind of stuff. So when I was working on Tejo, we knew the drone was coming for quite a long time. And the footsteps for the drone became really, it became a big problem because we didn't know what we were going to do for the footsteps of the drone. Because as you can imagine, we didn't record robot legs as one of our, standard shoes. And so we had to figure out how are we going to do this. So one solution is let's record new sounds for all the different surface types. And that is one solution. However, that takes a lot of work. So you got to, get the right material, record it on all the different surface types. And you're going to want probably 8 to 10 variations on each surface type, so it's not the same sound. And then you got to edit all the stuff you recorded. You got to master it so it matches not only all of the robot sounds are uniform, but then are they uniform across all the other agent footstep sounds. So ton of work. And the other way to do that is to see if we can repurpose something that we already had, which is what we did. So let's take a listen to the drone footsteps real quick.
Drone going out.
And so you can hear with the drone, there's like these mechanical sounds, like servo sounds. There's a little jangly metal, but there's also the surface type. You can tell whether you're on concrete or dirt. Let's do it one more time.
Drone going out.
So the way that we got around like recording new robot legs basically for everything was getting a little creative with what we already had recorded. So let's take a look at some of that. So here in Reaper, we can see in this track, this is high heels, which were recorded for the game. So there was already content that we had. So let's go ahead and play that. Now that doesn't work by itself. So obviously there's this heel sound and then there's the toe sound. This particular surface type is concrete. I didn't pull all of them, I just took concrete. So we have a heel sound and a toe sound. So the heel sound, it is giving me the surface type feedback. The toe sound doesn't make sense for my little robot legs. So what I ended up doing was going through all of our high heel recordings and, that's not what I want to do, and chopping off the tail. So let's remove the toe from all of these recordings. And now we have this. And I, gotta add your fades and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so now we have our heel sound, and then on top of that, we needed to add the robot elements. So I added this stuff. And that is two sounds. The servo sound comes from a thermal printer, and then the kind of metallic clank comes from this little toy. I didn't actually record the toy sound. It was something that the actually the audio director recorded it way back in the day for Ray's Boombot, and then he sent me the recordings and was like, "Hey, this stuff was really good." So I repurposed that stuff, and we got the kind of jangly metallic type of sounds. So then, if we put them together, you end up with a surface type and then a robot sound. So let's go ahead and go back to the game and listen to those elements separately. So I've soloed just the high heel sounds for the drone, and I'm going to launch one from an enemy and run around. That's cool. And now I'm going to go ahead and solo just the robot-y sounds. Do the same thing. And now let's bring everything together. And now it sounds like you have a little robot running around. Okay, so let's just go run around and hear some more surface types.
Locating targets. Locating targets.
So the reason I wanted to make this video was to show that there's multiple ways to tackle a problem as a sound designer. And a lot of the times the solution is go make a new sound. Some of the times the solution is let's see if we can get creative with implementation so that we don't have to do an extra bunch of work. Like re-recording surface types for the drone, footsteps for everything, that's probably at least a week of work, if not more. It could have been 2 weeks of work. And so repurposing the high heels to take care of the surface type and then adding an extra layer on top of that to sell the robot part saved a ton of time. And I think it took, maybe a couple of days rather than the weeks worth of work. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everybody.